many of you know, I'm a big fan of my Canadian brother from another mother, Paulogia. If you haven't watched his videos and subscribed to his channel, I don't know why you're free and not locked up in The Hague somewhere. I don't know anyone who's had an impact on resurrection excusegetics like Paul. I use the more familiar Paul because we're pals. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. Paul. When my dear friend Paul started his channel, he spent a lot of time taking a look at the claims of Christians who were pumping out young earth creationist nonsense. There's a solid 2 years worth of Paul's videos on or adjacent to that topic. He still returns to the subject periodically. And the reason is simple. When Paul was a Christian, he got sucked into embracing young earth creationism. Learning how he'd been deceived eventually led to his leaving the faith. Paul's channel took off right from the beginning. Even his earliest videos have over 100,000 views. Another reason I call him my brother from another mother. But when that happened, and my close personal friend Paul started making videos about other topics like the resurrection and the alleged empty tomb, well, Christian excusegist had to push back. And low-bar Bill, Christian excusegist ordinaire William Lane Craig was one of the first. That began with Bill going after my esteemed companion's background and history, mocking him for believing what his church, his religion, his Bible had taught him to believe. After flogging my sweet boy Paul for several minutes, Bill offered this assessment.
The intellectual life of this person was just allowed, well, it was stagnant. He had a brain-dead Christian faith.
Is there another kind? Isn't that completely redundant, Bill? I mean, what is it that led my bestest buddy ever to embrace this brain-dead Christian faith? Was it atheists like me or Richard Dawkins or Sam Harris leading my dearest Paul down this intellectually vapid road? No, it was primarily his holy book. Your holy book, Bill, and the people who believe it to be the Word of God, like you. Now, in all fairness, Low-Bar Bill is not one of those Christians who takes the Bible literally. At least not the first 11 chapters of Genesis, which Bill calls mytho-history. So he's not brain dead enough to believe in the literal 6 days of creation from nothing, the Garden of Eden story with Adam and Eve and the talking snake, Cain and Abel, the flood, the ark, the Tower of Babel, etc. But that still leaves Sodom and Gomorrah, a woman being turned into a pillar of salt, the plagues of Egypt, the Exodus, the parting of the Red Sea, 40 years of wandering in the wilderness, the conquest, including God holding the sun still in the sky, the bear assassins killing 42 children, a talking donkey, demons being cast into pigs, Jesus walking on water, the dead rising at Jesus' death, and the ascension of Jesus, who eventually got into heaven by going through the door in the firmament, for which only he had the key. Pot calling the kettle black much, Bill? If my beloved Paul had a brain-dead Christian faith, it's because that's what he was taught by people in his life who read their Bibles and actually believed what it said. Shocking, right? Not taking the Bible literally is a hell of a lot of work, isn't it, Bill? You see, Bill knows this better than anyone because in order to make the case that those first 11 chapters of Genesis shouldn't be taken seriously, it took Bill 439 pages. See Bill's Inquest of the Historical Adam for all the excruciating details. And that required a master's in theology and a PhD in philosophy. along with all of the scientific data we've been gathering for the last 400 years, allowing us to ignore those early chapters in Genesis and Bishop Ussher's dating of creation to October 23rd, 4004 BCE. I'm sorry, Bill, but a brain-dead Christian faith is really your only option. Despite your attempts to keep it on life support, hoping it'll one day wake from its coma. Once again, I'm me. Thanks for watching. Hey gang, thanks again for watching. I just have a quick but important update to the benefits I offer those who become a patron of the Mr. Deity channel. On top of the blessings, the magification of your underwear, multiple chances to make a first impression, etc., I'm now giving both new and existing patrons a self-authenticating way to know that something you want to be true is true, wholly apart from the evidence, in honor of William Lane Craig. So if you're on a diet and you are just really craving one of those big chocolate chip cookies you can get at various venues, you'll now have a self-authenticating way to know that those chocolate chip cookies contain 0 calories, fat, cholesterol, whatever, wholly apart from the evidence. Use it for whatever you'd like. Turn your cheating spouse into a faithful, devoted companion. Rid yourself of those pesky concerns that Grandpa might be suffering from dementia. Remind yourself that your existence is the most important thing in the history of our universe. Hashtag self-authenticating. But whatever you do, don't miss out on this amazing offer. It will not last forever. At some point, I'll be dead. To all my wonderful patrons and everyone who's already helped out in whatever way, thank you, 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 thank you. And I'll see you in my next video.